In Hollywood's media-obsessed culture, it's hard to imagine a celebrity successfully disappearing without a trace. And when you consider that it's almost imperative for stars to maintain multiple social media channels, not to mention personal brand leveraging efforts with merchandise, sponsorships, and ad campaigns, there's even a negative professional component to going off the grid. Sure, some top talents have such megawatt power that they are able to micromanage their image in the press, right down to exerting almost full editorial control over major magazines, which means that if you don't hear from them for a while, they're probably just holed up somewhere creating a secret legendary project like Lemonade. But clearly, not everyone is Beyonce, and that goes particularly for the folks in this video. So when they went incommunicado, people noticed. And believe it or not, this has happened a lot, from A-list actors to musical giants to reality star siblings. These celebrities just slipped away and fell under the radar, some just for a little while and some forever. Watch this video for real-life stories of some of the most famous people who mysteriously disappeared. In May 2012, TMZ confirmed that in the bedroom actor Nick Stahl had gone missing amid rumors that he'd been seen frequenting the Skid Row area of downtown Los Angeles. Shortly after word got out that he was missing, Stahl emailed his friends claiming he was planning to go to rehab, and TMZ confirmed that he did turn up at a rehabilitation center. Sadly, Stahl went missing again that June after checking out of rehab against his doctor's advice. His wife, Rose Stahl, told the tabloid that she will not actively search for her husband again. "I am backing off," she said. "He knows exactly where home is. It's the loving thing to do for him, myself, and my daughter." Nick eventually reappeared and reconciled with his family in July. Sources claimed that at the time he was in a good place and going for Alcoholics Anonymous. Things took a turn for the worse in 2013. In June of that year, the Terminator 3 star was placed on a 5150 psychiatric hold for unknown reasons. That same month, he was arrested by cops who found him and 3 other people allegedly using meth in a motel. According to The Sun, Black Sabbath rocker Ozzy Osbourne allegedly went missing after tabloids claimed his marriage to wife Sharon Osbourne was ending over his rumored infidelity, or shall we say, one of his many rumored infidelities. The missing persons case didn't last long though. About 3 hours after Page 6 published the headline, "Ozzy Osbourne is missing," in May 2016, the tabloid followed up with a report confirming he was well and fine in LA. E! News managed to get in contact with the artist and confirmed he was staying with a family member in the midst of his marital woes. Sharon addressed the downfall of her decades-long marriage on an episode of The Talk via Entertainment Tonight. She said, "I'm 63 years old and I can't keep living like this." Strangely enough, the pair was spotted looking pretty damn happy at a conference a few days later, sparking rumors that their split was just another publicity stunt. If you already thought politicians were wacky, just wait until you get a load of this story. In 2009, Mark Sanford, the then governor of South Carolina, disappeared for about 6 days after telling people he was going on a hike on the Appalachian Trail. As it turned out, he was really going to Argentina to visit his mistress, who was later identified as Maria Bella Shapur. Sanford admitted to his secret liaisons upon his return to the United States and begged for forgiveness. Unsurprisingly, his marriage fell apart and Sanford and Shapur later got engaged, though it would be very short-lived. Sanford announced that their engagement was off in a Facebook post in September 2014, and no one was more surprised than his then fiancée. Though they mutually decided to put the relationship on ice after Sanford refused to set a wedding date, Shapur told the New York Times, "I learned about our breakup in the press today. That is really savage." Now you have to file this under the things you can't make up. Academy Award nominee Randy Quaid and his wife Evie Quaid fled to Canada in 2010 in an attempt to seek asylum from a group they referred to as the Hollywood Star Workers. According to the CNN, the pair alleged that this group was out to kill them. Their escape to Canada followed a spree of illegal activities in the United States that included using fake credit cards to pay for hotel bills and squatting in one of their former homes. According to reports, the couple was granted permission to stay in Canada in 2011. Evie managed to get Canadian citizenship because her father was born in Canada. However, Randy's request was denied in 2013. Randy was detained by Canadian immigration officials in October 2015 and was sent to be deported back to the United States later that month. Bizarrely, he and Evie were arrested while trying to sneak back into the United States through Vermont. Now that was really crazy. In May 2014, a judge ordered that the whereabouts of legendary radio host Kasi Kasim be disclosed after Kasim's children claimed that they could not find him. The order was made as Kasim's daughter, Kerry, was named Kasim's temporary conservator, which was a big win for Kasim's children in their long and painful battle with Kasim's wife, Jean. Kerry had expressed fear that Jean had taken over Kasim, who was revealed to be suffering from Lewy body disease, out of the country or to an Indian reservation in anticipation of the court's ruling of Kasim's conservatorship. A missing persons report was filed with Santa Monica cops, and Kasim was reported to be found in Washington shortly afterwards. He died about a month later at the age of 82. The drama between Kasim's children and Jean continued long after his death and culminated with his remains being buried in Norway 6 months later. A lot of wacky things happened on the set of the 1996 film The Island of Moray, but top on the list is what happened after director Richard Stanley was fired just 3 days into production. According to sources who spoke to the Telegraph, Stanley was supposed to be escorted into a flight from his remote set in Australia to Los Angeles, but when the plane arrived in LAX, Stanley was not on board. Some of the film's extras discovered him about a month later, living rough in the jungle. He had fled from the airport to a fruit plantation where he had been subsidizing on yams, cassava, and coconut, along with his substantial personal stash of marijuana. Even wackier, Stanley actually teamed up with the extras to concoct a way to get back onto set by dressing up as a mutant dog and blending in with the background actors. Stanley did so because he was worried about his friends being left behind on set, who had only agreed to film the movie because he was directing it. He later said, "I did not find it reassuring and psychologically helpful in the long term. It made me realize the situation was even more shambolic without me." Parents of Going Pins star Andy Koenig reported their son missing on February 14, 2010 after he failed to board a flight from Vancouver, Canada to Los Angeles. His body was later discovered by friends and his parents in a Vancouver area park. Koenig reportedly committed suicide. That's according to his father and Star Trek actor, Walter Koenig. He was obviously in a lot of pain, Walter said. Walter said that he and his wife had received a note from Koenig that had been written in a despondent tone about a week before his body was discovered. Koenig had also stopped taking his depression medication about a year before his suicide. In the wake of the tragedy, Andrew's parents spoke openly to those contemplating suicide. "Before you make that final decision, check it out again and talk to someone," Walter said. He stressed that there are people out there who really care. He urged families to be proactive about helping troubled loved ones and not to ignore them nor rationalize it. If you or someone you know is having suicidal thoughts, please call the National Suicide Prevention Hotline at 1-800-273-8255. 1978 Superman star Margot Kidder went missing but was later found out hiding out in the bushes of a suburban California home. The star had been missing for 4 days in April of 1996. According to the police, they found the dirty, frightened and paranoid star with bruises and scratches on her body. Kidder was taken to an area hospital for psychiatric evaluation. When she was found, she was wearing disheveled cast-off clothing and apparently had cut off her own hair with a razor blade in an attempt to alter her appearance. Kidder later revealed to people that she had suffered from manic depression and was working hard to better manage her disease. "I'm not saying it's all over," she said in a 1996 interview. "I'm saying this is a pattern of my life. I just have to accept the fact that this is me or I ain't gonna make it. Sadly, Kida passed away in May of 2008 when she was 69 as a result of a self-inflicted drug and alcohol overdose. The final days of Nirvana frontman Kurt Cobain were described as a crisis and chaotic. That's according to a heartbreaking piece by Rolling Stone. The story detailed how Cobain entered a Los Angeles-based rehab center in April 1994. He reportedly told the staff that he was stepping out for a smoke, but his widow, Courtney Love, said he jumped over the fence of the facility and went missing. Cobain's mom, Wendy O'Connor, filed a missing persons report on April 4, 1994, saying she was afraid of her son's safety and telling police he might be suicidal. It was later discovered that Cobain had caught a flight from Los Angeles to Seattle. The police believed he wandered around town with no clear agenda in his final days. According to reports, witnesses spotted the artist looking ill and wearing a very thick jacket at a park, and sometimes on and before April 5, 1994, he barricaded himself in a greenhouse built above his garage. Reports continue to say that Kurt Cobain wrote a one-page suicide note, possibly used heroin, and took his own life with a shotgun when he was 27. Kurt Cobain makes it on the list of celebrities who died when they were 27. You can watch the video of other celebrities who died when they were 27 at this link on your screen. The disappearance of Patrick McDermott, the once boyfriend of singer-actress Olivia Newton-John, has captivated the press since he went missing during a fishing trip in 2005. He was initially presumed to be dead. However, he may have actually disappeared to escape debt and money owed in unpaid child support. Reports have said that he has been seen numerous times throughout the years, including in 2006 when the owners of a cafe told a private investigator that McDermott visited their place of business with a mysterious blonde. In March 2016, Women's Day alleged that not only was McDermott alive and well, but he was living in the remote village of Cialuta in Mexico with his German girlfriend. Patrick's probably now working in the yachting industry for a high-profile family down there, private investigator said. Thankfully, Newton-John wasn't sitting around waiting for his return. She moved on and married John Easterling in 2008.